Hey everybody, this is Artwork by Dutch. It's the ADHD artist. And going to, once I share the screen here, where are we? Share. Just received a sweet piece. I was warned about it last night from Shelby. And it's possible he may join. I don't know. And I don't know how to check either if he does and if he's in there. So we'll figure that out as we go. We had some music here. I can't believe today is Thursday. Jeez, I was just woke up this morning thinking, man, it feels like Thursday, but it can't be. It's got to be Wednesday. And nope, I was wrong. As soon as I saw the person taking out garbage, I was like, oh, it is. So I'll turn the music down just a bit. All right, so it's a sweet piece. I'm not certain if he's going to show up. I'm not certain how to check, to be honest with you. So this will be interesting. Switch over to one person at the moment. So Shelby, if you're on, let me know in the comments on how to add you in. Not certain where you would show up, but now there's a green screen area. All right, so just to run through again, across my banners, my Patreon, and I believe for $4 or more, you get to download my action here. I'm just going to run through again how it's done. You have to make sure the foreground, background colors are black and white. Background, the lock is set. Make sure everything's set to RGB color, of course. Hit the lock to get rid of the background. Head over to actions, and once you've loaded into your presets, just hit the play button, and it will rip and give you two separate layers. So you have a separate transparent layer, and then your, oops, we don't want that there, we want that here. And then you have your settings, your setup, basically. So you have a flat layer you can work on. I do for other clients. I will add one client where they want backgrounds to be on a separate layer, characters broken down, and also on separate layers. So I'll do that as well. And but with this one, it's a beautiful piece, nicely drawn. Jolie told me it'd be man butt, and she's got a spray bottle towards his butt. All right. And I'm just trying to think how I'm going to tackle this. Usually I would do background, the foreground, so I would work the lady in the back, TinSoldier, and then the two ladies in front. And I'm actually thinking I might work TinSoldier and then work my way around. And again, remember, there's no set method way to flatting or coloring a comic. So I'm a comic book colorist, and it kind of shocks me and surprises me. Well, I guess that's the same thing. When I tell them what I do, that I'm a flat colorist, and they're like, oh, what's that? I'm like, but you're in the business. How do you not know what a flat colorist is? And they're just used to dealing with the next stage, the colorist and next in line, which is your, other color artist, the renderer. So I have to explain that, the heavy lifting I do here. So that way they have the files all ready to go, and then they can gussy it up. And again, that is a technical term. And that it's an integral part to the process. The coloring doesn't get done by the colorist. I mean, if they did, a lot of colorists are good. They there's a way I could do it. Let's see, is it Mara? He's got a great technique, and it works if the artwork is all closed off. And sometimes you will, in this one, it wouldn't work because, again, we have the arms. They're not cut out, and they're not going all the way to the edge, inked. I mean, I can go in and probably quickly just draw in another layer or draw in the all the way to the edge and then select on the outside, invert, and go from there. But that's a lot of other steps still in between and clicking around, a lot of other controls, and I could create an action to do it as well once I've made the selection. But this only took me just a few seconds to do, and I didn't choose a color, so easy. Just dropped in my color there. A little darker. Shelby likes to put in a little darker range because he's going to lighten it, and I don't usually go this dark. But again, these are not colors that are going to be printed, so that's the other thing to think about. You're not dealing with this colors that are going to be printed. In fact, when you go through then and gussy it all up, it's going to lighten. For example, if I make a selection here of the skin, bring in my flat brush or my soft round hi-fi, which is a fantastic brush. Set this to screen. And if I wanted to come in here, I'll make sure I lock the layer. Shelby does a great job when he's going through his tutorials on his coloring process. Let's see, what's my hide the marching ants? Take my brush. Let's set it 75. Let's drop that down, and I can just quickly paint in. Let's raise it up a bit so you can see what's going on. And when going through, I'll do one big pass at a high color. I didn't change things either. I can choose another color. Oh, for a minute I thought my computer was going haywire. That's the song. The start of it. So that's the hi-fi way. I do like it because now it's isolated on its own layer. But I'll delete that and head back to the task at hand. I set my brush back to normal and 100%. Yeah, this is not going to take me that long. The stream's probably going to be about an hour. Just because I know Shelby's work pretty well. So just zoom in, you can see these great lines and inks. He was talking last night because Jimmy Reyes was on, which was fantastic. And he had a different line weight, thickness. And Shelby was being very modest about how his is, and it's still better than mine. Don't get a lot of chance to practice though. So in the description, I've got Shelby's Indiegogo campaign up. I think the CG vacation one ends tonight, if I understand that correctly. I'm going to rip through this pretty fast. This is what Shelby's using Kelly People on his channel. about giving me a piece. I mean, he gave me this, I think, earlier today or last night. But he's like, yeah, you hand it off, and then 20 minutes later, it's back in his Dropbox. So I want to get it done nice and easy for me. I got some of my own stuff to do as well. I started finally doing some new drawings for my comic, The Wayfarer, creating some new character bios. I have to go wrangle my artists and let them know that I'm going to be doing this second issue now soon, and if they can turn in their artwork to me or mail it off, whatever, scan it to me so I can get it, start coloring it. And on that one, I think I'm actually, for some of them, I just actually hire another, I'll flat it, but I'll hire another colorist to do it so I can focus, division of work and labor. Right. Trying to stay within his costume. He's got a red tunic. So a little butt shot for you ladies. He's trying to vie for the best glutes overnight wing. So why am I doing it this way rather than doing background to foreground? Because I can then just cut right through him and get the ladies done. That'll speed up my process. And that's what I do on all my pieces that I get from people. A lot of artists, I will actually sit and look at their work for a good half hour, just analyzing how they've drawn the piece, etc. And others, I'll just figure out what I'm gonna tackle it. Okay, so tackle the lady in the back. Oops, something happened. So I'm just using one continuous line, cutting through. And I'm still just making one big selection here. Rather than doing the setting of add to selection, which would mean that once I've made a selection, stopped, I can go back and add another piece in, etc. But this time I can just go and just do it in one shot with my holding down Shift on a Mac. Now I'm using a Shift option, so I'm switching it from a free form to magnetic lasso. The only saving grace of Photoshop, once Clip Studio figures this out, other than business, I won't be using Photoshop anymore. I'll just use Clip. It's all my coloring for my clients. All right, so I was going to call this the Ice Cream Social because I was just having some ice cream earlier. I finished being a handyman today. Put up shelves in my laundry room. Heat tint on my windows. I'm a vamp artist. And hey, Dr. Villainy, how are you doing tonight? I'm sorry if you guys are on other platforms like Twitch or Facebook. I unfortunately don't have my restream up to view those comments. That's a lot of work. Oh, of my doing. Yeah, it is nice. It's kind of weird. I put some up in my bathroom because sometimes the sun comes in the middle of the day, and but I couldn't. I ran out. I mismeasured, so I like to do one side, and I'm actually going to keep the one side free, so you get regular light in. Because I walked in there and it's just like it's so dark. But you know, the life of a homeowner. Got lots to do. Next, to put on some handles on my kitchen shelves or drawers or whatever, cabinets. What's that called? Yeah, cabinets. Like the stream might not even be an hour. Yeah, so I've got from Dr. Villainy, first cover. Shelby's working on mine right now. My other variant. I just need to check with Tone. He's been very busy with his tours, conventions and stuff. So it's possible I might not get that this time. I have to then still talk to Trevor and Andy Carone to get them to sign on as well. But I'm really excited. The docs is very nice. It's sweet. I'm really happy with it. I'm already thinking, you know, I've got the third issue out right afterwards. No messing around. That cover, the reason why this one's taking so long for my second campaign is the cover I had, I just didn't like. It didn't come out of my head the right way. And so I'm going to, I redid it, an homage piece to Stuart Monin's All X-Men, I think number 7. It's the one where the Shi'ar take Jean Grey, and then they're on the Shi'ar homeworld. That just fit the comic better because it's an action scene. So the comic gets some action finally. So you can see Shelby's lines are nice and thick. I know this hair is inferred to be a feathered hair. That's why I went out and captured that. And let's see, pair of glasses. So tip I always mention, aim for the center, you know, like aim for the bushes like in all the other guys, but aim for the center line and center of the line of the artwork helps. And it just comes down then to learning how to use all the shortcut keys. Like playing piano. Need stick. I probably should move that down just a bit darker. So if you have flats, need flat work done, you know, my email is all my information is found in my description. It's artwork by Dutch, all run together at gmail.com. Prices are still the same. Haven't raised them at anything for due to inflation yet. It is for cost of living. Now let's do that over again. That's a little too, make them a little darker. Barrier. So again, I'm just gonna do one continuous line. Get this cheek here, get the back, and circle around, cutting into the lady. And then when you drop in the color, it's all said and done. If I wasn't talking so much, this had probably been done 10 minutes ago. Hard part about streaming and work. Oh, gotta remember to save, which I haven't done yet. And this one's going all the way through. I'm going to zoom in just a bit, just because these lines are getting a little thin here. For those really thin lines, you can just skirt the outside. I'll just skirt the edge as close as possible. Now, I made a mistake there. And after I'm done, I'll use my negative lasso to erase it. And everything here is fixable, so if you make a mistake, you can just deselect it and go right back again. Now, don't get so caught up in it. In fact, I'm just going to negative on this. Or lasso, excuse me. Cut this out. And add some back in. Cut back out. Cut out here. And so cutting out just again, aiming down the center. And where did I mess up? I messed up here, I believe. I'm actually happy how my Inspector Detective Arosta came out. She looked fantastic. I posted on my Facebook. I have a bunch of artwork I've just been saving up for Instagram to load, so I can schedule them. So I have a huge dump of artwork coming in soon. I had to use a reference and had to remember not to stay true to the reference model, change it for my character to fit her personality. And I don't draw a lot of big-chested women, but so she's one. And there's another one, newest one starting, but just not comfortable doing that. I mean, I can, but I like making, realistic women. Oops. Let's make her, so blondes are usually a little bit more orangey. Yeah, I can't believe tomorrow's Friday. Jeez. It sucks because I've been staying up so late. And then next week I'll take my youngest, to school, which means bed by midnight, get up at 7. And I'm not a morning person, so that's going to blow. Is that's me back, Doc. I'm ready for school. Is that coming up soon for you guys? Give her some green eyes. One thing I do when I'm coloring comics for DC and others is I actually will switch up. I don't usually use blue eyes and a lot. I use a lot of most people, the majority of people in the world are brown eyes, so I use that. 2 more weeks. Oh wow, you're lucky. Yeah. 2 more weeks. My oldest goes off to college. Hopefully I hit the lottery or something that I can afford it. All right, so she's got some texture to her bikini, and I think do her straw hat here. If this line's this thick, you don't have to zoom in all the way. Oops. And let's make the gloves a little different. I suppose actually, since those might be latex gloves or nitrile gloves, we'll do that. I'm just taking my time. I'm just wanting to talk to people, do some instructions. Let's think about what this metal polish, let's use a green. Pop here. And a little yellow. So some big news, not for me personally, but I guess Sprite's actually going with clear bottles now. They're not going to use green anymore. Which is, we know it's transparent when it comes out. You know, it's clear. But it's going to be really, it's going to really throw us off because, you know, we get the green bottle, we think it's going to be Sprite. But they're doing it for a good reason. So it's for recycling. Put a little orange in here to make the pop. I'm wondering if that's actually separate. I'm gonna keep it. He can change it if it's not that way. We'll take that orange and we'll add that in the lettering. Yeah, 29 minutes. I mean, I'm really going slow here on this piece. Usually I'd have it done by now. So one continuous line, aiming for the center, a lot of overlaps. Again, it's like doing the kids puzzle at restaurants. I'm not certain if this is going to be colored or not, but I'll fill it in nonetheless. You can always remove it. You can also color hold it down and change the coloring there as well. All right, let's see. I'm just looking through while I'm here, zoomed up close, where I've missed some parts. I'm just debating on what to make the suit. So I'm thinking a little leopard print. It's a fun one here. Just again, big shapes, just one continuous lasso. So all I'm doing right now is just holding down my express key, but it's a shift key, and I'm just still making my selection with the same lasso. So if that's one big coloring tip, it's a good one. It just takes practice and just holding down and just getting used to, like if you're fretting a guitar, switching your fingers for chords. Playing Guitar Hero, it's the same thing. So Doc, are you doing some sewing, or are you working on the Wolf and I? So you are working on the Wolf and I and a badge for MaricopaCon. Oh, when's that? It's coming up, I guess. September is usually it, or next month. Get your rest. Thanks for hopping on. I appreciate it. If you got anything to send me, go ahead. I'll be up for a while, and since I'm almost done with this, I got the left one to do, and we're over. If not, I'll be home all weekend. Oops. Oh wow, Stream Elements brought up Wayfair. Huh. I have to change that. You'll upload another one? All right. I forgot to cut this little area out, but yeah, that wolf you showed, it was very cute. I think I saw a wolf cub like that, or pretty small one. I was a big animal person, but they're cute and all. They bite your head off, man. That's my Bill Murray best impression. Yes. Just changing the color because it's very similar to her hair. Hey, Phil, you made it to Houston. How long a drive was that? That was 16 hours, I think you said, or something? 6 hours? Houston's. I'm a former Texan. I used to live in Austin. And the sad part is, you're surrounded by Texas, 8 hours in every direction. There's not a lot to see. And Houston, yeah, that's a coastal city. Got to be humid as hell, though. It's humid here. There's been a lot of monsoon storms in Phoenix, but not like there. Yeah, so Zaid Comics, Phil Diaz is on. Your campaign for CG Vacation ends tonight, correct? So if you guys haven't, get in there. Some great pieces, I'll tell you that now. All right, so I'm seeing some discoloration here. So I'm going to darken that. Gotta pay attention. A lot of times you find this kind of stuff on buildings. You have to call it out. A little weather distress pattern. You just finished the wolf piece? Sweet. Can't wait to see it. I gotta try to figure out some other goals for this Kickstarter or when I do all three. Since the third issue wraps up a real introduction of the main three characters of my series. Oops. I fixed this. But overall, this is done. I can see if there's anything else I need to catch that Shelby put in. Let's change the color on this rag here. Darker. Not so neon. And I'm going to change that background. Usually I leave this area blue, but I'll keep the rag that way. I'll select everything. Come with my lasso, deselect that. Fill, and you're done. Now Shelby can come in quickly and change that around. But that's it, folks. That took 38 minutes to do. A little slower than usual. I should have been done, like I said, 10 minutes ago, but having some fun. This was going to be an hour stream, so it's actually probably ended here early. But I will show maybe my detective inspector. Got a couple of things going on. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I can't wait to see how, he colors it. Shelby's got a really unique way. That's why I like learning things from other artists on how they color pieces. Because the high five method's the way I learned how to do it. But I'm pick up from other artists what I like. So here's my detective inspector Arosta. I just limited the bottom half of her, but that's what she looks like. And she is magic detective, magic police. So now I've got to do Inspector Maz, who's my main character, my Samuel L. character, in a sense, and get him drawn. Because then this is what I'm going to send out to people. Usually, again, I don't make a lot of big chested, but she's inspired by like actual cosplayers I've met, Lena Masquerade and a couple others, of course. So just did that. But yeah, there it is. She's katanas. They all have explanations. I have to actually draw her tanto next. Should be on top, and they all have different uses. That's their talismans that they use. So, but folks, I think I'm going to call it a night. I'm going to go tackle the docs 2 pages here for Wolf and I. And Phil, you have a great time down in Houston, man. Be safe, especially driving back. Doc, you have a great night, a great work day tomorrow. And thanks again, folks, for joining me. I appreciate it. Let's go back to the star of the show, Shelby's piece here of a TinSoldier swimsuit. So thanks again. Everybody have a good night. Take care.